Hi everyone. Thanks for attending our challenge. My name is Ryan Yap. I'm the head of innovation, growth, and partnerships for the YCH group. We are a end-to-end 7PL supply chain solutions company, and I'll be taking you through our problem statement for today. Okay, our problem statement is we're looking for an ergonomic hands-free solution for warehousing processes, but with a focus on picking at least for now. So, as I explained earlier, so the YCH Group, we are a end-to-end 7PL supply chain solutions company. We are Singapore's largest homegrown supply chain solutions company, and our claim to fame is lies a lot in innovations and excellent supply chain management. We are partnered to a number of the world's leading brands. You would know most of them if I say the brand names, which I can't, NDAs and all that. But because of that, we constantly look for new challenges and new ways to sharpen our knives and our weapons to solve the problems of the world. Okay, all right. So going back again, let me rephrase the problem statement is how can we adopt an ergonomic, hands-free, and of course cost-effective hardware solution for warehousing processes, right? But I think for the purposes of this scope, just the picking. Okay, before I explain what picking is, what we hope to achieve, right, is to have a solution that can integrate, right, with our current software applications. This is an in-house application. It's on the Android OS and also browser-based. What we are open to is actually open to anything. To be honest, it could be glasses, it could be something mounted on the wrist, the hand, the finger. Not important as long as it achieves the objectives that we set out earlier, right? Ergonomic and hands-free, and of course, cost effectiveness is a necessary evil. We do not want the solution to cost more than what we face today. Otherwise, there's not much point in doing it unless additional value can be generated. But that is another conversation. All right. So the other that's on the big picture. On the operational front, right, what we are hoping to do is if we implement this your idea, right, is to minimize the number of steps and repetitive hand motions that are done today, right? And of course, we want it to be ergonomic so that you don't have issues of fatigue, muscle fatigue, and other such problems without a hands-free solution, right? We also want the idea to be scalable. Ideally, you're not giving us something that is immovable, large, and cannot be moved, right? Something that can be quick to deploy, something that can quick to roll out, because we are present in about 13 countries and about 100 locations. So if this idea works and it's adopted as our best practice, we will obviously want to roll this out throughout our footprint of about these 100 locations, as I said earlier. Right. Last thing, of course, you want to improve the productivity. Ideally, you reduce the number of steps, you reduce the hand motions, you reduce the fatigue. It means less error, more accuracy, more speed, and better efficiency for everyone. Okay. So allow me to go through what happens today. All right, and I'll explain what picking is first. So picking is the process of when we have order, right? When please, I want 100 red t-shirts and blue pants, for example, right? Picking is one of the first processes that you do to take the items from your storage areas, right? So that is, in a way, picking is how you collect the orders and start putting them together, right? So it's a very important step. It's practically one of the most important steps to start the ball rolling, right? And that is, I'll describe today what happens today. So today we use a RF scanner. It's a handheld device, probably a little bit bigger than a phone, right? And we go through, we have either a picking list, it's either system generated or on paper. Most of the time it's system generated through our application, right? And based on the application, our people are told where to go, what to take, right? So they would go to the location, they will scan the location, they will be told what product to take and how many, right? They will they will grab those, they will pick those and perform scanning to verify against the system to tell them that they, if I'm told to pick 10 boxes, they will scan 10 boxes, right? And they will either put it in their trolley, their cart, or their pallet, or whatever they have with them, or a sling bag, depends on the operation, right? And then they would move on, right? So the fourth bar here, likely to make errors, that's because they actually have a device on hand, right? They have to extend their hand, they have to scan something, grab the box, put it somewhere, right? Rinse and repeat. So as you can see, there's a lot of back and forth motions that are happening there. Extend the hand, scan something, check, make sure it's correct, confirm. Then they have to put the scanner down or put it in their pocket, pick up the item, put it somewhere, turn back to the cargo, and keep going through that process. Alternatively, so those that are a little bit smarter will take one scanner, they'll scan everything, right? And then they will proceed to do the physical act of putting something onto a pallet or to the trolley or whatever. Both have their plus and minuses. The problem with the first option is that it's a bit more repetitive, but it's safer. The second option is a risk because they could scan 10 things or 11 things and they take 8, 9, 10, 11. We don't know because there's no one-to-one check, right? And they are incentivized. Those that are more experienced are incentivized to do the faster method, and that's when mistakes happen, and that's when everything starts to go belly up. So what we hope will happen, right? More or less, the process stays the same, but the experience is to be better, right? So instead of having something on hand, which is yes, it's the size of the phone, but we work with big boxes here, so anything that can reduce keep your hands free is great, right? So they still log into the picking application, they still grab their picking list, they still scan the location, but ideally the entire experience is revitalized. It is more swift. It is a bit more lighter on the hands and fingers, where they could perhaps either reach their hand out and scan something as they are working, or there's no need to extend their hand out, scan something, pick it up, put it in the pocket, put it somewhere, right? And then proceed to do the actual physical activity of moving the box onto wherever they need to be, either pallet or trolley, or things like that. So that is the experience we wish to improve, to make it a bit swifter and to incentivize a close knit between the physical and the information activity, meaning we try to avoid situations, or rather we try to make it so efficient that you actually don't save much time by scanning everything and then picking, right? We ideally try to merge the two together, and people are happy to do that because the process is efficient and pleasant, right? So that's what we hope to achieve. And of course, this leads to increased productivity because less errors, less mistakes, closer adherence to the process, which we envision, and less incentive to look for little tricks and shortcuts. Or even if they do take shortcuts, it becomes even faster, which is a suitable trade-off as long as they are experienced enough. One last point to add on for this is kind of just the start because it's just picking, right? We do envision this solution to eventually be used for other processes in our warehouse, which not just picking, that there's packing, there's tally checks, there's receiving, that there's a lot, right? But ideally, it's why we're looking for a hardware solution as opposed to a software solution is that is not our core. We're looking for a hardware solution that can grow with our software, and of course allow us to work better and be more efficient. One thing I will say is how we envision this happening is either through some form of connected input-output device, like either a wrist scanner or a palm scanner or something, right? And a screen that is further up the arm or closer to them or suspended somewhere that they could see. Why we say that is because we have tried glasses, AR glasses. We are not opposed to AR glasses, but somehow it doesn't really work in this part of the world. They can't get comfortable with it, or they can't speak the correct accent in order to communicate with the device, which is sometimes a prerequisite for glasses. You actually have to talk to the device and give verbal commands, which is not always possible in this part of the world. Right. So that's kind of why we're envisioning something a bit more on the hands and the arms, as opposed to something on the face, which we have tried, unfortunately. Okay. So what's in it for our potential solvers, right? We are putting up a cash prize of 25,000 under the terms of the OIP IMDA terms and conditions, right? You obviously have access to IMDA's a very impressive suite of consultants and some of the facilities as well. And of course, to work with us, I think not to toot our own horn, but we are of a certain scale, YCH, across this part of the world. So if this works, I mean, works really well, we'll obviously be one of your biggest customers at the very least. And of course, we don't want to constrain you. We want to do something that actually works. This is a live problem statement. We have pretty tight supply chains, right? So anything that could empower that is extremely strong commendation, strong reference, and I think it's a good opportunity for us to partner. On that note, YCH's philosophy for partners is actually we prefer to bring people with us to grow with us rather than lock something down in perpetuity. So I think what we are trying to say is working with us is a partnership approach. We try to grow our partners and we try to work with them, try to make them better. So hopefully that assuages any concerns of a big player trying to trying to take advantage of SMEs or solo operations. Evaluation criteria, I think this is pretty standard, right? But the reality is it has to hit our objectives and ideally to be the most cost efficient. And the best would be if it could be something that could be readily integrated from the start so that we can evaluate what the future picture will look like. All right. Okay, the last slide. So the deadline is 25th November. 4 p.m. This is Singapore time, right? And the last thing is if you have any questions, I think our contact information is here. You can contact myself or Vikraman. He's a very crucial player in our innovation team as well. So our email addresses are there. Please feel free to reach out for us if you need more clarifications, schedule a call, you wanted to demo maybe what you have already that could potentially fit, and you need our input as to whether that is the case. More than happy to check and connect.